Hey, we're the Fords, and this is By Grace We Live. Here we are. I don't remember how to do this. It just feels like it's been an eternity.
It has been a while.
But we're back. Really what we wanted to do was build up the anticipation for this episode by taking a little bit of a break.
Oh.
Because we just got back from the happiest place on earth. That's right, y'all. Disney World. Some of you may not think it's the happiest place on earth, but you would be wrong. And today's episode's all about our trip, so super excited to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do, Ryan, how was your week?
It was a pretty good week.
I was gonna say it's probably your most favorite week ever.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one.
What are your highs and your lows? I think ours are going to be the exact same.
My high was going to Disney.
Yes.
And my low was coming home to Riley having diarrhea.
Yeah, like what the heck is up with our dogs? They cannot give us a break.
I mean, it's, Riley was at the kennel for the week, and it, things happen.
Yeah,
she probably ate some dog's poop. She was stressed out because she was around a bunch of other dogs without anyone she knows, and because Ace went to your parents, so
we took Ace to my parents because we're pretty confident he tore his ACL again, and we didn't think it'd be a good idea for him to be around a bunch of dogs all week.
Yeah.
Like, he definitely would make it way worse. So took him up there, took her to the kennel. We really like the guy that we kennel her with.
Yeah, he's great.
But when I picked her up, he was like, she had diarrhea this morning. I haven't observed that all week, but I did give her some boiled chicken and rice, and he washed her off for us, which was kind.
I mean, he could have just fed her normal food. He didn't have to do all that.
But that's the thing. Like, I think the most frustrating part with her having diarrhea is that she's an Australian Shepherd, so her hair is like fluffy, and it doesn't even hit the ground. It just all gets stuck in her fur.
You pretty much have to give her a bath
every time. And then we came home from dinner at Ryan's parents' house, and she had pooped in her kennel. And then after we gave her a bath, she pooped in the bathroom. It was just, it was a very stressful day.
It was rough.
But she's on the mend. Today's been a lot better.
She's doing good now. Yeah.
Thank God. Because I've learned I just don't do well with the bodily fluids. Like, if it was Miles, that's a different story. But the dogs, because it's like unpredictable, and I feel like
they don't wear diapers.
Well, and I feel an incredible amount of anxiety, because then I feel like, am I trapped in my house? Like, can I not leave? Because if I leave and I kennel her, is she gonna poop everywhere again? Like, it's just like those thoughts go through my mind. So we took turns on the couch last night so we could hear if she was needing to go out, and thank goodness we did, because she needed to go out in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
a few times. But anyway. That was my high and my low as well. So moving on to our next segment, book club. I know you don't have any new books.
Yeah, I've been in a reading slump, so.
Well, we were a little busy last week.
Yeah. Well, yes, obviously because of Disney, but even before that.
Yeah. It's funny because I was going to pack your book light that you have, like, thinking for whatever reason that we'd come back. Because obviously, like, we were in a room with Miles. So when we came back, we gave him a bath, put him down, and the lights were off the rest of the night. And so I thought, like, oh, I'm going to need a book light so I can read at night. Yeah. No. I was pretty tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're still working your way through Lord of the Rings.
Yep, slowly but surely.
How far would you say you are?
I'm not very far at all.
Have you met Schmeagol at this point?
No. Schmeagol?
I know.
No. Well, yes, but I'm not that far. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even halfway through. So
wow. You are in a reading slump.
Yeah.
We got to readjust some things.
I know.
What's going on?
I don't know what it is.
Well, I finished the book that I was reading, the Man Who Died Twice. Was really good.
Thursday Murder Club. Right?
Yeah, so this is the second book to the Thursday Murder Club. And I remember we were driving in the car. Where are we going? Up to my parents, probably.
I think so.
And I was like, oh, I know what's going to happen. Or like I started calling stuff out and you were like, stop. Because I think you eventually want to read them. And I was right about some things. Some things I was not, which I like about these books in particular. Because I I felt like I knew what was going on in the first book. And then I was like, what? Like it completely blew my mind. So anyway, finished that book. I don't remember. I think I gave it a 5 on Goodreads.
I think so.
But now I just started Becoming Better Grown-Ups by Brad Montague. I think that's how you say his name. Yeah. Montag? I don't know. No, Montag? I think it's Montag.
I don't know how it's
Brad,
pronounced.
if you're listening, let us know.
It might be Brad Montag.
Montag? Okay.
Because it ends G-U-E, right?
Yeah.
And that might not be pronounced how you would think.
Montag. Okay, well, his name's Brad M. And you've read this book.
Yes, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, a couple of other friends have read it. And so we had it at some point, somewhere along the way. We either borrowed, like let someone borrow it, or
I don't know what
it's
happened.
Just missing. We don't know what it is. So you bought it again for me, and I'm not very far. But the premise of the book, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel very fuzzy right now. I wonder why.
Yeah.
But like essentially, so he went on this like tour of schools and he would go into classrooms and just ask little kids like their opinions on adults. And he was just kind of like gathering information on basically like what they thought of adults. And so he kind of breaks it down like by different chapters. Some of it is like the responses and then some of it's other stuff, but talking about like ways that we can be better people, essentially. The tagline of the book is rediscovering what matters and remembering how to fly. And I think part of it, just based on what I've read so far, is coming back to a place of like childlike wonder and not getting so stuck in the rhythm of like all the things you have to do and whatever, what you think being an adult means. So I really like it so far. He's very entertaining to read too.
Yeah.
And if you've ever seen the YouTube videos, Kid President, that's his little like brother-in-law or something.
Yes. Yeah, like, it's his brother-in-law.
It's his brother-in-law. And he started that with him after going on this tour. So those videos are super cute. And I mean, they've gone viral because I think everyone wants to feel like, I don't know, the way that those videos make you feel are an indication that like what he is saying in this book is true. Like we need to kind of get back to a place of childlike wonder. I don't know. So anyway, I'll keep you updated. You don't want me to write the spark notes for any book because it's all jumbled, everything that's coming out.
We'll have to do a podcast on that one when you're
on
done.
That episode. Yeah, for sure.
Because it's a good one.
Yeah, and then after you read Dream Big, we'll do none.
Yeah. Well, yes.
We eventually have to, but that means like you got to power through Lord of the Rings here.
I know. But
what were you gonna say?
It's a bummer we lost our copy because I'm pretty sure I made like underlined and starred things. So it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to like have a little refresher because it's been probably about a year since I read it.
Yeah. So, super good. Moving on. Close the book. Book club over. We're just going to recap Disney World for you guys. So, buckle in, grab a drink and popcorn and get cozy.
Sure.
And imagine you're there with us. In the 90-degree weather. It was hot and humid.
But that was fun.
The one thing I will say. We had a phenomenal week. Like, I don't think, I mean, to take an almost 2-year-old to Disney World, I think it was the best week we possibly could have had. The one thing that I would have liked different was the weather. But, like, it's not like we were going expecting it to be anything different than what it was. It's just... we got there and it was like, man, this is hot.
You
like 90 degrees.
You like temperature
it really
affects you
me
more than me.
Yeah,
like I'm like it's hot, but like I don't
I'm
care.
dying.
You know?
I can't function.
And you like shut down.
I hate the heat. I just don't love the heat. I hate being outside in the summertime, which I know is terrible, and like so many people would probably disagree with me. I mean, I do go outside because like I'm not going to make Miles a hermit. Like we go and play outside and go for walks and everything, but I hate it. And every day we'd get there, and within like 5 minutes I would be dripping with sweat. Like not just like, oh, I'm perspiring. I was like, it's coming down my back. My hair is soaking wet. Like it was disgusting hot.
Well, everyone
was,
sweating.
yeah, but like that's not enjoyable.
I mean, I still enjoyed myself.
Oh, I did too, but I would have enjoyed myself even more if it wasn't dripping with sweat.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the one thing I would have changed. I am surprised though that we didn't get like more sun than we did. I feel like I still am as white as a ghost.
I mean, we made sure to put on sunscreen.
That's true, and I did wear a hat like a couple days.
Yeah, you wore a hat.
But anyway, so we'll break it down for you. First day, well, okay, flight. The flight there.
That was Miles' first plane
flight
trip.
Yeah, I think we had said too, like we'll give you guys whatever tips we used.
We didn't really do anything.
We pretty much just relied on the tablet and snacks.
Yeah, that helped.
And thankfully that worked.
Well, the other thing too is that he was not bothered at all by like taking off and landing.
Yeah.
Like because I feel like that's something that can really set off the kid is because
or like the air pressure changing or anything.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Like
if his ears popped, we don't know because he
didn't react at all.
Your ears were really bad on the way there.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck when we took off.
Yeah.
Or when we were landing. I mean, in Orlando, my ears were.
I just remember we were walking through the airport and you just keep turning around.
I couldn't hear.
You're like, I can't hear you, and I wasn't talking, but I think you just wanted me to know, like, if you talk to me, I can't hear you, and I'm like, okay.
Well, and that like if somebody's talking to me, you have to be the one to be like to respond or something because I can't hear.
Yeah.
Like my one ear didn't pop until later that night. I think I was in a shower.
You were looking up ways, like on the trip to the like resort, how to pop your ears.
Yeah,
and everything. Nothing worked. It was
because we're in a van with other people, like because they take you back to the hotel after when you get off the flight, and people are talking. I'm not entirely sure if they're talking to me, and
they weren't.
Yeah,
but.
Well, because the one lady who was sitting next to us,
she was talking to her baby.
Made some comments to us.
That's true.
And I just could never be 100% sure what was going on.
Yeah, just nod and smile, and smile. So anyway, the flight went really well. We have a really cute video of him going wee, like when we're getting into the air.
Yeah, when we take off.
And then he just watched Mickey Mouse and Kanto, and he ate some snacks, and that was it. I was like, wow, that was actually, we got really lucky too because so like the row that we were in, it was 3 seats, and a lady sat down next to us, and she had her little son, and I was talking to her a little bit. He was a year old, and in my head I'm just thinking, oh boy, this will be interesting. It just, depending on if he's a good flyer, if they like,
because if one of them cries, they could set off the other one.
Yeah, that was kind of where my mind was at. But when the stewardess came around to like do the last final count or whatever, they said only 4 people can sit in a row because there's only 4 oxygen masks.
Yeah, so they moved
So they had her move. So we had
together.
The row all to ourselves, which was really nice. It's not like we utilized it. I mean, I put my bag there maybe and my jacket, but like it was just nice to like not have to, because I think my biggest fear flying was, we're gonna like annoy the people around us, if Miles has like a little bit of a meltdown.
We were on a full flight both ways though.
There's only so much we can do about it.
And there were a few kids. Yeah, there was a handful of kids.
And he didn't cry like at all. Yeah. And then on the way home,
he fussed a little bit on the way home.
On the way home, he was tired, but he fell asleep, so that was nice.
Yeah,
the last 45 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, so that was really nice. But okay, flight there is great. Let's do the first day.
So we went to Hollywood Studios.
Oh wait, let's do the first night.
The first night.
We got free stuff.
We did get we got our like, so at the Disney resorts, you can buy, they all have cafeterias, and you can buy it's like a kind of like a refillable like travel mug kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if you get that, you can use it the whole week. So
I
you
think
pay
last
for it
time
once.
we were there it was like $17.99 or something.
Yeah, I'm sure
so
they've
sure
gone
it's
up.
more now.
They're probably like $20-ish.
Yeah.
But the reason we don't know how much they cost is because we always buy one because they're nice. Because then you can really get your money's worth out of it, you know, by refilling it and every day at the hotel.
And you can take it to the park if you want to.
You can, yeah. You can't get it filled there, but you can take it with you if you wanted. But so we went to, we were eating dinner at our hotel, and we got our food, got the mug, put everything up on the counter to pay. And as we were walking away, I thought, she never activated our mug. And then I looked at our receipt, because it has like a little like NFC chip or something in the bottom. That's
the only way you can get it to work.
Yeah, you have to set it down at the drink fountain, and then it'll recognize it, and then it'll allow you to actually pour a drink. And so I went back because I saw on the receipt she didn't even ring it up, and she didn't activate it. So I went back and I just said, hey, I think you forgot to charge us for the mug. And she was like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then she activated it, and I was getting my credit card out, and she was like, oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And we were like, are you sure? And she's like, yep.
So,
like, okay.
So we got that for free, which was great.
And then they also have like a little area of coolers full of like snacks and like just quick on the go things. But they also have like half-gallon of milk. So I bought one of those so that we could keep it in the room to give milk to Miles in the morning. But they also had a cooler full of ice cream. So I stopped and got like, you know, the classic Mickey Mouse ice cream bar and took those up, and she was talking to Miles, and she was like, oh, is this ice cream for you? And I said yes, but the reality was
he was gonna have some,
but it was really like, no, it's for me. He's gonna have a couple bites,
right?
Because he's honestly not much of like a sweet, like he doesn't really eat sweets very much. Like he
I'm
doesn't
surprised
want them,
that he doesn't eat them as much as you would think.
So anyway, she like did this little pixie dust looking thing, and she's like, oh well, Tinkerbell told me that you get to have it for free, and like she like sprinkled pretend pixie dust over the ice cream bar, and so we got that for free, which was really sweet. And it was the same lady who gave us the cup for free. I was like, okay, she needs to be here every day, we can come back and get some more free stuff. But we never saw her again, unfortunately.
No. We didn't eat, though, in the cafeteria very much.
And then that was like the last time we got anything for free.
Actually, the only other time was
your birthday.
The day we were leaving.
Yeah, the day before. Oh, you're saying the last time we ate there.
Was, in the cafeteria at the hotel.
I'm talking about when we got something for free. It was your birthday meal, kind of.
Oh, yeah. But anyways.
Okay, so Hollywood Studios, first day.
First day, Monday, Hollywood Studios. It was good. It was a good day. That was the only day that we got
stressful.
Really rained on. Or no, right? Yeah. That was the only day we really got rained on.
While at the park.
At the park.
We got rained on again Thursday, but we
weren't
not
actually.
At the park.
Yeah, we were just trying to get back to our hotel. But yeah, it was cool because they had the new Star Wars land, which I hadn't seen any of that stuff yet. Well, neither of us had. And also Toy Story Land, which Miles enjoyed.
Yes, he loved that.
But those were like some of the newer things we were able to see, and
so Disney World has this option where if you have a little kid, you can do something called rider swap. So Miles couldn't go on a lot of the new rides.
Yeah. There's a lot
Star
of
Wars rides.
Yeah. That he's either, he's not tall enough for or whatever. They're like roller coasters, which he can't ride.
So what we would do is we'd both go up to like the person who's at the end of the line or beginning line, whatever you want to call it. And we'd say, can we do rider swap? And so like I would scan my band, Ryan would go and stand in line, I would leave, and I would take Miles on like whatever ride was close by that he could go on. And then when Ryan got off the ride, I literally could go up, swipe my band, and then go basically to the front of the line, essentially.
Well, it's you go into
the lightning lane is what it's called.
Which used to be called Fast Pass.
Yeah, which
it's just a faster.
Now can pay for to do. It gets you through the line quicker.
Yeah, a lot quicker.
But essentially what I was doing was walking to the front because that's what happened every time. So that was really nice because we got through a lot of the new rides that way very quickly. And I actually felt bad because like you were standing in line for like 15 to 20 minutes and I would just walk through.
Really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't actually have to do rider swap for a lot of rides.
No, it was mostly Hollywood Studios.
Because if the other thing was that if we had lightning lane, Genie Plus, it's a whole, they have a lot of terms, words, but it's essentially that fast pass lane. You don't need to do rider swap because that's all that gets you is to go in
like
there.
Ryan would go and then I would go.
We're the only two. If we had more people, we could have done it, but because I think that would have.
That's kind of the idea, like.
But because you could take
like another person with you.
Yeah. I mean, I saw somebody take like 3 other people with them.
Oh.
I think on their website it says you can only take like 2 other people with you, with the person who has to wait.
Yeah.
With the child or the person who can't ride. But I actually think they don't really care and they'll do more most of the time.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, since it was just the 3 of us, it was a little bit of a bummer because I felt like we didn't get to experience the cool new stuff together. Like you'd get off the ride and I would like run fast to go and then I'd come back and be like, oh my gosh. And like, I'm telling you what I thought was cool. And then you're like, oh yeah. But like, you know, it's just more fun like to experience that together. But
it was still good.
It was fun though. Cause then like we got to do stuff. Like we did a lot with Miles.
Yeah. Miles rode the alien saucer ride
like 4 times.
Yeah.
He liked that a lot.
Yeah.
That was his first ride.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think like my favorite part of Hollywood Studios. I mean, Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance.
That's the newest. That's one of the
newest rides.
And I would say it's more of like an experience. Like it is a ride, but like
it's not like a roller coaster. It's like a
like a.
I don't know what to compare it to. No, it's not a simulator because a simulator would be like Smuggler's Run.
Yeah. Okay.
Where you have a screen.
That's right.
And you're just in a thing that like moves up and down.
Yeah.
Feels like you're flying.
But Rise of the Resistance was cool because it's like a 20-minute kind of like walkthrough thing where you're experiencing
so many
a bunch of
to
different
it.
stuff. Yeah. And I mean, if you've ever been to Disney, you know, typically like certain rides have like a persona, like the Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah.
Is like, you know,
all of the
eerie
like
kind of whatever.
And all of the cast members who work at the Haunted Mansion, they're all very like deadpan and like.
So the Rise of the Resistance, it was like you were captured by the
Imperial Order.
And literally the guy like got in my face. Not, you know, he wasn't like being aggressive, but he was like giving us orders and he was like in my face and I just couldn't, I busted up laughing. He was like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, I don't know. I can't take this seriously.
Yeah. Like they're all in a role.
Yeah. Yeah. Which that was what was fun. And then I was the youngest. There's 6 people who go on the ride at the same time together. And I was the youngest person and making the least amount of noise. All of these older people, like they were having the time of their life, which was really is cute to see. But
yeah.
So that was probably my favorite. My least favorite part of Hollywood Studios was when we stopped a ride. Essentially, there's a new ride called Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And the first time we went on it, Miles loved it. The second time we went on it, he got frightened at one part, like right at the beginning. And then like the rest of the time, he was just not having it. And so he was sitting on my lap and I was by myself. Ryan was on another ride. And
I think I was on Rise of the Resistance.
Maybe, yeah. He was sitting on my lap and like, you know, they have the lap bar across from you or on top of you. He kept turning around and trying to like hold me. And I kept like, you know, trying to say, no, Miles, you have to sit down, whatever. So because we were on it the second time, I knew what was supposed to happen. And so we were like going into this next part of the ride and they stopped it. And then you hear all riders must be seated and facing forward. And then they just like made you like, we just went on to the next part. So everyone in our cart missed that whole section of the ride. And it was definitely because of Miles. I was so embarrassed. I don't know if anyone
only the
knew.
people in your cart would have known that.
Well, we were in the last row too. So like, I don't know if they even knew that it was him, but like they could definitely hear him crying and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, I just felt bad because he did not care for that.
Yeah, that one freaked him out. It's just, I think it's part of it is just how loud it is too.
And some of those
jerky, newer rides, like, yeah,
they are. You're jerking around, and for him who doesn't understand like what we're doing or why this is happening, that's startling. So, and at Hollywood Studios, we were eating dinner in the Star Wars land, and one of the workers in the restaurant, she was really sweet, and she was like just talking to Miles, and anytime he'd take a bite, she would like cheer for him, and then finally
because he would like keep looking for her too.
So she'd like peek around the corner, and then he would take a bite, and then he would like wait for it, and she'd cheer. It was just really cute. She was being very sweet, like interacting with him. Well, at one point she walked away, and he went, "I love you." I was like, oh my gosh, that's all it took.
Yeah.
Smile at him and compliment his eating, and he's your girl, or you're his girl. But yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah. He's funny.
Anything else you want to add from Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, I don't know. Rise of the Resistance definitely was my favorite ride. It was just so cool across the board. It's a similar like ride like
experience
mechanics to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's like in the same kind of car. Like,
really?
Because they're trackless.
Oh, yeah.
Those like trackless cars. It's the same kind of thing. They use that a lot now.
Yeah.
Where it's all computer controlled and they can really go anywhere on the floor, but they obviously have a set path. But because that's the same thing with Ratatouille at Epcot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just that was really sweet. The whole Star Wars land Batuu
it literally
is
feels
really cool.
like you are not on Earth anymore. Like they put a lot of detail into it.
And I'm really glad we went into it because there's two ways to get to Batuu. You can go through Toy Story Land and get to it, or you can go just from the other side of Hollywood Studios and you can walk through, and that like way's definitely the better.
Yeah,
you walk past Star Tours,
in like a cave,
and you go into it's a cave, and so it's like, and then you just walk out into this totally different scenery, and everything's like it is like made to look like an alien planet.
Yeah. And like when we got there, we were there as close to rope drop as we possibly could have been with a 2-year-old. I mean, we were there early though, before the park officially opened, and the like workers in the Star Wars area, they're all standing there like in a line. They're like so serious, like they're about to like go to war or something. And I was like, wow, they're already
like
acting.
Troops and stuff. Yeah, like they're actually in a.
And we got to see a few stormtroopers. You saw Chewbacca. I didn't see Chewbacca.
Yeah, he was just standing up on like one of the. Like they have the character. Rey was out there too.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
They come out across like this. I don't know, stage thing. You can't like interact, like you can't go up to them. But
do you want to share about Miles's character experience at Hollywood Studios?
Oh yeah, so that was the first time we had a character. We went to see a character because we wanted to like try to at least get all of the like Fab Five. You know, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto.
You didn't consider Daisy part of that?
Well, I don't think she's the Fab Five.
Oh.
I think it's Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not Pluto. Maybe it is Daisy, but I'm pretty sure it's Pluto.
Well, you're probably right.
Anyways, we wanted to see all of them because Miles loves them.
That's who he likes, yeah.
And
I was not present. I was on a ride.
You were riding Slinky Dog.
Yeah.
At the time, and I was gonna try to go do. They have this Disney Junior dance stage show where like different Disney Junior characters will come out on stage, and it's this huge like flat floor where the kids can just go and dance along to different things. And I was gonna go do that with him because I thought he'd really like that. And but on our way there, Pluto was out, and there was like 5 people in line. And I was like, well, heck, I should go stop and do Pluto so that way he can see him. The line's so short. Well, part of it was, I think, that it was hard with just me, because like I had to push the stroller out of the way, because they tell you to push it off to the side, and it's not the side you like enter from the line, so you have to cross over. Well, I made the mistake of putting Miles down first and then pushing the stroller, and I think that scared him.
He thought you were probably leaving him with Pluto,
and he wasn't that close to Pluto, but he was close enough, and so that kind of set it off a little in the bad direction. He started crying, and and then he calmed down, and he like touched Pluto's
his nose.
And then we kind of went up to him, and he pet Pluto shows you, he like motions to pet his like snout, and then so I did it first, and then Miles did it, and so he kind of warmed up a little bit, but that was a rough go.
So we're like, great. He's crying on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. He's crying eating Pluto. This might be a big mistake.
Yeah.
But
no.
It wasn't.
No.
The week got better.
Well, we kind of figured out what he doesn't like.
Yeah.
And it's like the rides like Mickey and Minnie, where it's really loud and dark.
And jerky.
I don't know how much of the jerkiness it was.
It is because like the slow moving rides he didn't really freak out with.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I guess I just attributed it more to how loud it was, and like how in your face everything was. Because that's the thing too, is a lot of that stuff is so much more like, you feel immersed into it more than you do some of the older rides.
True. So the next day we went to Epcot.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Did we have anything else at Hollywood Studios? I don't think so.
I don't think I was going to have anything I shared.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's all kind of becoming a blur to me, because I actually think that the ride that I was on with all old people was Smuggler's Run. Rise of the Resistance was Smuggler's Run. Younger kids.
Yeah.
And younger kids. They were my age. Who am I? I'm some old fart.
Oh, man.
Those youngins. It's funny because there was a couple on the ride with me they were there on their honeymoon. And I said, oh, are you guys celebrating your honeymoon? Yeah. I said, oh, that's so cool. My husband and I came here on our honeymoon. Now we're here with our son. So that's what happens when you come on your honeymoon. You come back with your son. And they were like, haha. And I was like, yeah, that was awkward.
That was weird.
But that's why I thought of them as kids, because they just got married. But they
could be
probably were
older
our
than
age.
us.
Yeah. Anyway. So Epcot was day 2.
Yes. And that was my birthday.
Yes.
So that was fun.
Yep.
And
we hit all of the really big things first thing in the morning in
before
like an hour
10
and a
o'clock.
half. Yeah,
I feel
crazy.
like it was not. Well, so we got lucky because we got there pretty well before rope drop, I think.
Yeah.
And
I think
which means just when the park opens.
Yeah.
And they had already started letting people in, and they had already started the rides. And we were trying to rope drop Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
It's brand new.
Yeah, it's new. We'd never done it, and so we did that one first. Unfortunately,
he hated that
as
one.
I said earlier, it's very similar to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and he did not like it at all. So it was kind of hard to pay attention.
He cried through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that, like, the idea of that one is you're the size of a rat.
Yeah.
So, like, everything is large and, like, blown up. And it's also a 3D ride. So it's, like, the screens.
It's not 3D in the sense of you wear 3D glasses.
No, but, like, things are, like, coming up to the screen, like, as if they're coming at you. Like, it's very in your face.
Well, everything's directed towards you. Yeah.
Yeah. But.
It's
so
first
anyway,
person.
He hated it.
That's what you mean to say.
Yeah, sorry. And we got off and we were like, wow, this is going to be great.
Yeah, that was rough.
And then we went on, we didn't do Frozen next. What did we do
the next thing we did was the other new ride, the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
That was amazing.
That was really cool. And that was a great addition to Epcot because...
Epcot doesn't have like fun.
The only really other thrill ride it has is Test Track, and that's not even that. I guess Mission Space technically is probably a thrill ride, but it's a simulator.
I almost said Soarin'.
Soarin's not a thrill ride.
No.
That's also a simulator.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing is Mission Space is a simulator. So it's like a certain type of experience. It's not the same as like an actual like coaster or anything. So that's cool because that's I described it as a combination, if you're familiar, of Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios and
Mission Space.
Space Mountain.
Sorry.
At Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of compare it to, but it's obviously much more modern and there's more cooler
like
effects.
Another experience, that's like a 20-minute experience to get through it.
Yeah, it's not as much as Rise of the Resistance, but there are definitely some
there are cool aspects
like pre-show,
to it.
Cool things in the pre-show.
I will say I came off the ride crying, not like my eyes were watering so bad because it goes like it's fast and the air's blowing on you, and I was like, I can't stop my eyes from watering.
Yeah, that was really cool though, and we got lucky because like with that ride you have to do a virtual queue, and it essentially you have a chance to get in this virtual line. So they don't have a normal line for the ride.
Which was smart on their part.
Because like, it's going to be crazy because it's brand new.
Yeah.
And it would be ridiculous because when we went before, when was that, like 2017?
2017.
I think Flight of Passage.
It was like brand new.
Yeah. Was that our honeymoon or was that
No, that was the
second time.
Yes, that was the second time.
Okay. So Flight of Passage was brand new. That I think it opened that year. And then we just got fast passes for it when they were still called fast passes.
But people were standing in line
there was like a
4 hours.
4-hour line.
Like being
physical line, so you're
to
literally waiting in this line for 4 hours, and the thing stretched across the park. It's at Animal Kingdom, and it was ridiculous.
I think that's probably one of the reasons why they did this whole virtual queue thing is because it takes up so much of the space in the park.
Yeah, it's so hard because you're like trying to have to weave in through lines, just going through a normal. Yeah, like there's no ride in sight, and there's a giant line going through your pathway.
We got the virtual queue, and it was like the first lump of people.
Yeah, we were in the first boarding party, they call it. And essentially, they just, everything's done on their app, and they just notify you when your boarding party's ready, and you have an hour, I think it is, to get to the ride and do it.
And we did the rider swap for that. So you went through and walked right on, and then I went through
literally, I walked on. It was so, I took a video of it. I don't think I showed you. As I was walking through the queue area because it's just huge.
Yeah, but you're just walking on. Yeah,
and no one was there.
Yeah.
And so I think there was like, the room for like the pre-show stuff before the ride can hold probably like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 people.
Yeah.
There was 5 of us in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, my group was a lot bigger than that.
Yeah. Well, because since we were the first boarding party and we got in before
most people,
because we stay on the Disney property, the resort. You get to enter the park a half an hour early, or sometimes it's later. Like the park will stay open later. Yeah. It just depends on what they have going on right at that point. So, anyways,
and the resort we stayed at, they have something new called the Skyliners.
Oh yeah,
and it takes you. It's basically like little gondolas that fly over the city, and so
it's awesome.
They're nonstop, which is nice because it's fast. Like you walk on, like it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it keeps moving. It just slows down.
Keeps moving as you're walking on. But it takes you to Epcot or Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. And
so on those days, like we got to the parks really fast because we're not having to wait for buses. You're not waiting through traffic.
Because you could wait 20, 25
minutes for the bus to come, and then everyone has to get off the bus, and then they have to load like wheelchairs on. Yeah. It just takes a longer.
It just takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So process. We got to the park a lot earlier on those days because of that.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah, so we were able to knock that out really fast. And since we did rider swap, because I had to, the virtual queue, you still go in the normal line, not the fast lightning lane line. But with rider swap, Sarah, when she went, it was her turn. She was able to do that. And by the time I got off and she was able to get in line, like people had started
coming.
Yeah. More people started coming.
Well, and too, they made the announcement, like I think while I was waiting, or right as I got off, that they were pausing the virtual queue. Yeah. So you couldn't like
There's only
try
so many
to book
spots.
again until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. So we got lucky with that.
Yeah, so that was great. And then we used our lightning lane
for Frozen.
Genie Plus for Frozen,
which is like a newer ride as well.
Which is it replaced one of my favorites,
the Norway ride. You've talked about it on here.
Oh yeah, I have.
Because you were reading the Norway.
Yeah, the Maelstrom is what the ride's actually called.
Yeah.
But.
So that was fun. Miles hated that as well. Actually, the picture for that's really funny.
Here's the thing, though. Had we not ridden Ratatouille, I think he would have been fine. I think that ride just scared him.
But there's one little like part in the ride where you kind of go down like a little hill on Frozen, and the picture is snapped right there, and he's nuzzled into my chest. Like he's not even looking out. Pirates of the Caribbean
he was fine. Has a hill too, a tiny little hill, and he was totally fine.
I think he was just a little traumatized still.
Yeah, I think it was just Ratatouille kind of freaked him out.
And then, like, we did all the classic, the Soarin'. You did Mission Space. I did not. Because we found out that when Ryan was on Mission Space, I was like, I bet Mickey's here somewhere. I'm just going to ask an employee.
Well, because we had already, at this point, seen Donald.
Yeah. Just, like, standing.
He's in Mexico. Yeah. In the World Showcase.
Yeah.
Because he's in his 3 caballeros costume.
Outfit, yeah.
So we saw him, and it was another short line. It was really easy. And that one went much better. He was still a little
timid, but he gave him a high five.
He gave him a high five.
And a hug.
It was,
And then we saw Minnie.
And then we just, happened chance saw Minnie as we were walking by somewhere else.
And that one was really, he loved Minnie. Yeah. He gave her a hug. He blew kisses.
Yeah. That one went a lot better.
And then when we walked away, he was wanting to go back. Yeah. He really liked Minnie. So I just thought, okay, Mickey has to be here somewhere. We're probably not just going to see him on the side of the, in one of these
I was kind of surprised we didn't. That's what I have assumed, because we actually saw Daisy too when we were leaving for his nap.
Yeah, but we're
it was weird though, because she was
apparently, so.
She was right by the. I don't know.
She was close to the exit.
Yeah, it was weird, and entrance. Yeah. But yeah, it was weird, and it was the exit entrance on. There's 2 entrances to Epcot, which it may be the only park that has 2, and. She was by the one that's less busy, which I thought was weird.
Well, anyways. Ryan was on Mission Space. And so I just walked up to an employee. I said, hey, is Mickey anywhere here? Can we do a meet Mickey Mouse? And she was like, oh yeah, he is in the, if you go over by Figment, what is it? Figment Imagination?
It's Imaginations.
It's some sort of.
A Journey Through Imagination.
Yeah, Journey Through Imagination. Right over there by the Pixar area is Mickey Mouse. And I was like, oh, okay. And so Ryan got off the ride. We got Miles's Mickey ears, and he was like, are you going to ride Mission Space? I'm like, no, we're going to go see Mickey Mouse. I don't care. Been on it before. I'd rather just go and get these pictures. So we found him, and it was weird because he was right inside where you would get in line to go into this
Pixar theater thing,
which they normally
it used to be Captain EO. They changed it.
Yeah, but it would normally be you stand in line, you go in and watch a 10-minute little thing.
Well, because the doors to enter the building literally are the standby entrance and the lightning lane, and
so
it has the times.
It's very weird. I'm why? This is so
I would have never thought.
Yeah, secretive. But I'm glad we found him because we maybe waited 15 minutes for him.
Yeah, there was only 10 people in line.
And someone who got in line after us, they were like, why does anybody wait at Magic Kingdom for Mickey Mouse? Yeah. This is so much quicker. And again, he did really well with Mickey. At first he was
scared, but then
he was like, no,
he warmed up. Gave him a high five,
clapped. Yeah, he was happy.
Yeah.
And then when we got to Magic Kingdom the next day, it was 70 to 85 minutes.
Well, even longer than that. It was over 100 minutes.
To just meet Mickey.
Mickey.
Man, that is wild. A long time to wait with little kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that we found him. But yeah, we did Soarin', you did Mission Space.
So a little tip. If you want to do character meet and greets, the place to do it is Epcot.
And just ask. Because they're not... So there's an app that you can use, and those weren't on the app.
No, at Magic Kingdom...
They are. For Mickey and
Minnie is.
And maybe some of the princesses, I think.
And some of the princesses, yes. They're on the app. Those tell you the wait times and stuff, but...
We obviously didn't really care about
those. But at Epcot, they weren't.
No.
They're not... listed.
So
at least
yeah,
that
was nice. We didn't get Goofy, but we saw
Which he
him.
was probably somewhere. I'm assuming if
I
literally
thought he
every
would
other
have been
character.
with-
I guess Pluto wasn't there either.
Yeah, we saw him at Hollywood Studios.
I mean, maybe they were again. Because that's the thing is they were in, like, Mickey
were
was in a really weird
spot.
Daisy, I thought, was in a weird spot.
Yeah.
Donald made sense.
Minnie was even kind of
Minnie-
random. She was just like randomly across from one of the
Yeah. But it's
countries.
like, it's clearly, Minnie's at least was clearly in a, like, character
visible.
spot.
Yeah.
Because, like, Donald, his was the same thing. It's, like, kind of looks like an old ruin.
Yeah.
And it's clearly a character spot because there's, like, a line. So even if he's not there, you could tell that's going to be a
Actually, you
character.
said that on you when we walked
said
through in the
hopefully-
morning. He's in his Three Caballeros outfit.
Yeah, hopefully we can see him as we walk by.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
And then we every day we would go back to the hotel after we ate lunch so that Miles could take a nap and we could take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would go back and finish out the evening. And
We pretty much just ate around the world.
we did. It was awesome.
Yeah.
We ate, like in Canada, they had this like cheddar bacon soup, which sounded terrible to me in 100-degree weather.
But it was delicious.
But it was really good. And it came with like a little pretzel breadstick.
When we should say too, they were having the food and wine festival, which means
there was specialty
there's a bunch of
booths.
extra stands and booths with all these specialty foods that aren't normally there.
That's where we ate. But I said to the workers, I was like, man, am I ever going to regret getting soup when it's so hot out? And the guy was like, I would eat this in 120-degree weather. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was good. It was very good. And then there was like a filet mignon with like some sort of sauce and mushrooms, and that was delicious. And then we had a lamb chop from Australia, I think, that had like this basil
minced
chutney
basil thing
with potato chips, which I thought was weird, but it was delicious.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it would be.
And then was that the
we forgot to say too that we got blue milk and green milk at Hollywood Studios
in Star Wars Land. Yes. And then what else did we eat? There was a couple I forgot to take pictures of because we were just so excited about them.
We got like pot stickers.
Oh yeah. Oh, there was like this Hawaiian barbecue pork slider.
That was good.
That had like a pineapple chutney on it, which was really delicious.
Yeah.
A fry flight. That was yummy.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
3 different types of French fries. Miles inhaled the one.
Yeah.
Just the regular. I think they were technically like sea salt and vinegar, but
oh yeah,
like he
they
loved
did have
those.
vinegar. Yeah.
And then there was a Kenyan dish, and it said coffee rubbed beef tenderloin, which I didn't taste. I didn't
get a whole lot of coffee, but it was delicious.
But there was some sort of like corn mush. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. I remember it was in a movie. Like I know what the name. Like I've heard the name of it before. It was in a movie or something.
It was so good.
Yeah, that whole thing was delicious too.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like we ate more than
We got
that.
boba tea too.
Boba tea, yeah.
What else did we get at that? Because we got the pot stickers and something else, didn't we?
There was like a Korean barbecue bun kind of thing.
Oh.
And then I don't remember. Miles kept asking for pizza.
Yeah.
So
that was the hardest thing, was finding something for Miles.
Because like he would eat, like he ate the dumpling, he ate the fries. He would eat little bits of stuff, but he wasn't going to sit and eat filet, which I'm okay with because I wanted it. But he kept asking for pizza. So we go to Italy, and there's only 2 sit-down restaurants, and they're the only ones that are offering pizza. And we're like, well, we're not going to wait at a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah, there was no quick service over there.
Yeah.
We probably could have gotten pizza if we went back to the other side of Epcot, but it's like it's so far, and we were literally just planning to walk the stretch of the World Showcase and then leave, because once we started on one side and on the other side was the exit, and so that's what we were kind of planning on, just to do. And so
we ended up going.
We tried getting him a crepe, a cheese crepe in France.
Oh, that's right. That's the one thing I forgot.
But he didn't.
He
had a couple bites, but
honestly,
it was hot too, and I just think
he
was not having. I don't think he would eat much anything
in the mornings. Yeah, like for lunch, he really wasn't hungry, and I think it was because he was so hot. So yeah, we got that. That was pretty good. I ate that.
Yeah, it was good.
And then we went back to the resort and got him a slice of pizza because that's what he wanted, and it was huge. He was happy about it.
That was a big slice of pizza.
It was called a super size. It was like it was like a quarter.
I thought you got a kid's pizza.
No, there was no kids pizza. It was just like slices.
You held it up to me and was like, "This is the kids."
No, I said this is huge. Probably, like it was gigantic. Oh. So, yeah, he got his pizza. Yeah, and we were stuffed. Yeah, it was delicious. So
yeah, that was fun. Eating around the world is great. I think that was it, right? For Epcot, I don't think there's really anything else notable. Yeah,
that was about it. So the next park we went to, and we did a day and a half technically at Magic Kingdom, which I'm really thankful for because it didn't feel very stressful. There's so much you can do at Magic Kingdom, like aside from all the rides when you have little ones.
We only redid, I think, one ride the second day. I think Buzz Lightyear, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the only thing we redid.
That's true. So yeah, Magic Kingdom was fun because he could do almost everything there.
Yeah, there's so much
and
to do.
And he really enjoyed those rides. Yeah. Like he didn't cry once at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean, he loved like Dumbo.
The teacup ride.
Teacups, flying, the magic carpet.
And the Jungle Cruise. He asked for more. Like we got off and he was signing more for the Jungle Cruise. So
you like Jungle Cruise. Yeah. I mean, we did Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, he did good on
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I didn't think he would do good. So fun fact, little tip, if you're listening, planning on going to Disney anytime soon, have little ones, not sure how they'll do in a dark room. If you're familiar with Haunted Mansion, the first room you go into, it's kind of like the pre-show room. It's called the stretching room.
Yeah, it's where the portraits look like they're stretching, like the room's stretching, and the portraits get longer.
And it gets pitch black at one point, and there's like a body hanging from the ceiling. Because like
the ghost host that's talking, he's like, there's no doors or windows. When you enter the room, there's no visible doors or windows. There obviously are doors, but they're hidden. And he's like, oh, and the you could always take my way out, and then the lights cut to black, like you can't see anything, and then thunder crashes, and above you see someone hanging.
Yeah, so super creepy.
Yeah, and most people scream too. Like I think he laughs. I think the ghost host might go. I can't remember now. Does he laugh?
I'm surprised and impressed that you've remembered all these details.
He may laugh or something, but it's kind of loud. But people scream, because it goes black and thunder and
the experience of it all.
And we knew that would freak him out, and then because the rest of the ride isn't that like. There's not a lot of screaming and things popping up at you and stuff like that. Dark. It's dark. It's a dark ride.
So you can ask to skip the stretching room, which I don't know if many people know.
I didn't know that until
we found it on our sister-in-law found it on Instagram and told us, which was super helpful. So like you get to the foyer area, like when you're about to go into the stretching room.
Essentially, when the double doors open to go into the mansion.
Yeah, you just wait.
There's one of the cast members, you just ask, can we skip it? And he'll tell you to wait by a certain door, and he gives you a little piece of paper.
Yeah, and you kind of go the back way.
And you let everyone else fill in the stretching room, and then once he's done with them, he comes and shows you how to go to the next cast member to get around that room.
And the nice part about
that is super easy.
We
also get to skip
a huge group of people.
the 30 or so people that were in the stretching room.
Yeah, we passed them, so that was nice.
But if you don't have kids, the stretching room is worth it because it's such an iconic part of the ride. So
yeah, it is fun. But it's just we knew that would.
Yeah, we just knew it would freak him out.
So we did. I feel like we hit all the rides we really wanted to. You were able to ride Splash Mountain, which you really wanted to.
Because they're remodeling it, so it's going to be Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I think is what it's going to be, based off of Princess and the Frog. So like, I think it's gonna close down soon, maybe at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. I think sometime soon it's going to close down to start construction to be changed, and it's still going to be like a Splash Mountain type ride, like a log ride that ends in a giant. The track, I'm pretty sure, is going to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
The ride mechanics, same.
Different.
It's just all going to be themed different with new animatronics and probably more animatronics like the Frozen ride at Epcot, where they're more like their faces are kind of like projection mapped.
CGI kind of.
Yeah, so that way you can do more, emote more and make it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what it's going to be more like. But yeah, so that'll be cool. But it's just
you wanted to.
I really wanted to ride the classic Splash Mountain before it changed,
and I had no interest in getting soaking wet.
And the thing is, I got wet, but like I dried off really quickly.
I just am so uncomfortable already.
Yeah. So I was nervous though because the first day I got my fast pass or lightning lane for Splash Mountain, but then it closed down like halfway through the day and then it opened back up, and I was like, oh no.
It did start sprinkling at one point, and it was like it was very dark, like the sky started getting dark, but it never poured. But I think that they just closed it because they didn't want to
but it never opened back up. That was the weird thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was pretty dark the whole time, like the rest of the night.
I feel like they could have probably, I don't know, because
anyway.
Other rides like Big Thunder Mountain I think closed down, or Railroad. I think that closed too at about the same time, but it opened back up fairly quickly. Okay. And that's an outside
you got to ride that instead.
So yeah, anyways, I got my fast pass for Splash Mountain, but when or Lightning Lane, but since it was closed, if a ride closes during the time that you have a Lightning Lane and you weren't able to use it yet, you can switch. They automatically give you a universal lightning lane that can be used for like 10 other rides. Not anything. Okay. But like 10 other rides, like Space Mountain I think was one. But we had already done that. And so I hadn't done Big Thunder, so I did that.
Yeah.
And
we did Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan. We did
Under the Sea. It's a Small World.
I did that twice.
Yeah.
Which was not very fun the second time. I don't know what happened. We got stuck on it the first time, not for too long, but we were literally stuck in the last room where it just sings It's a Small World over and over and over.
I don't know if you noticed, but all the rooms do
No,
that.
but there are parts of them where it's like just instrumental music. Like they're not singing it.
Well, I think
this specific room, they are.
But I think it will just, I don't know. Anyways.
Well, anyway, we're in the last room. It's just like, it's a small world after all, over and over. Yeah. That's fine, whatever, okay. But then, the second time we go on, Miles and I are literally about to board, and then all of a sudden, no one's moving. All the operators are like looking at each other and talking and running back and forth to each other. And then a man comes out with a flashlight and looks into the water, and I'm like,
Somebody
oh no, what
something.
happened? Yeah. So that took a while for us to get on the ride, and then when we were on the ride, we got stuck again, sitting in that same room. So,
because was that when I was supposed to be riding Splash?
You were supposed to be riding Splash
the
Mountain,
first
but
time.
then you rode Thunder Mountain.
But I ended up going, and then I went and got a Dole Whip, pineapple Dole Whip.
Yeah, got a Dole Whip and didn't save me.
Because I was right by it. By the time you would have come out, it would have melted. It's essentially like
it's pineapple sorbet, basically. Yeah, but it's like.
It's so good.
It's popular at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it's delicious.
So, anyway, we got our own later on, Miles and I.
And I got a different one.
Yeah, which was even better, I thought. But
yeah, I still think the classic.
What else? Oh, Carousel of Progress.
Classic
over
ride.
In Tomorrowland.
Yeah, we hit
one.
that. Yeah.
We did the Buzz Lightyear ride.
Yeah, he liked that one. Mm-hmm. I mean, he pretty much liked everything. Ride we rode.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have an issue with
Magic
anything
Kingdom.
at Magic Kingdom. So that was good.
I'm trying to think. Oh, we got to see the parade a couple of times.
Yeah.
So they do the big parade.
You saw more of it than I did.
Yeah. We did the big parade twice, which that was fun because I
think the second time I was actually on Splash Mountain.
Yes, you were.
Because you went to do Country Bear Jamboree with
which
Miles.
Is not that great. I couldn't tell what they were saying half the time.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, I really didn't know what they were saying. But it was air conditioned, so I was fine with it. But then, the parade was like literally happening as soon as we walked out the door. So we got a really good spot. And the tail end of it is all of the main characters. Yeah. Donald, Daisy, Goofy, Chip and Dale, Pluto, Mickey and Minnie. And so he really enjoyed that. And we caught, they do a couple shows at the
stage
castle.
Shows,
so we caught, the tail end of one of those. I'm trying to think what else like was notable. Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't know. It was good.
I think one thing that I really appreciated, like I said, on the flight, I was really paranoid about, like, you know, if he's having a meltdown, there's only so much we can do about it. We're contained in an airplane.
Right.
Another thing that I was nervous about going to Disney World was, like, we know there's going to be moments where he's, like, not
fussy,
having it. Yeah. And, like, that's just going to
happen.
It's hot.
They're long days. He's not on a right schedule. He's not eating the same kind of stuff he eats.
Everything is just a mess. And he really wanted to be walking. Like, he wanted to walk everywhere. Well, that's
Which
impossible.
Is not possible.
Like, he walks at snail speed.
Right.
And it's kind of scary because there's so many people, like, walking around.
He could easily get lost in the crowd.
Exactly. And he, like, doesn't really have that awareness yet. Like,
yeah, he would be bumping into people. Into, like, he would get knocked over. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sorry. Like, we're in line. And he's, like, trying to, like...
we would let him, like, get down in line.
He's, like, trying to walk up into their family group. I'm like, no, we can't do that. But what I was going to say is, like, I was really appreciative of all the people around us. Like, we've been to Disney multiple times. People can be jerks. Like, they think they're the only people there. Yeah. And it's like, okay, cool it. Like, we're all here trying to have a good time. You just need to, like, calm down. And so, like, you just never know what you're going to get. And everyone by us was always so kind, and like multiple people, like I would just be like, I'm so sorry, and you know, they're like, don't apologize, we've been there, and like, oh, he's so cute. And the one mom was like, how old is he? And I told her, and she was like, oh my gosh, he's doing so good. Like she was shocked that he was like as young as he was. So I was really grateful for that. And then at one point I was like, Sarah, who cares? You're never going to see these people again. Well, it doesn't
matter, yeah, and like, ultimately.
Because I think in my mind, it just makes it
easier.
I was just like, they're going to be like, wow, what idiots. Why would they bring a 2-year-old to Disney World?
Well, I mean, there's like there
Everybody
are people
does.
with kids younger than, like, the whole range.
Like
I mean, there's kids with newborn looking babies.
Literally.
And then there's like every age all the way up, you know?
But like, I was just very appreciative of all the kind people who were encouraging, and everyone loved Miles, which I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't. It's
and
hard
the one
not to
thing,
like.
Honestly, that I will never forget. We were in the airport on the way home. You're gonna laugh at me, but so Miles likes to say hi to like anyone and everyone who will pay attention to him. That's it though. Like he's not going to engage with you anymore. Else. He could, but he just wants to say hi to you. And if you say it back, he will say it again. And like, I just feel bad for people in the grocery store. Like if you're in line with us, he's not going to stop. I mean, it's cute, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
Again, you never know who you're going to be around and how they're going to respond. Well, so we were in the security check line, and the lady in front of us, you know, he was saying hi to her, and she was engaging and hi, and she was even trying to ask him questions. Yeah. And I was like, you're not going to get anything else out of him. It's just going to be hi. Well, randomly, like at this point, I don't even know if they were really doing the whole like hi back and forth, but she had turned around.
I think he had said something.
Okay.
Or, you know.
Or he was probably laughing because he kept like giggling too. Oh, there was another one. There was another moment that.
Well, finish this one.
Sorry. So she turns around and she just points at him and she goes, you make the world a better place. And I literally almost broke down in tears because that's something very specific that I would pray over him, like when I was pregnant with him. Because, I mean, bringing a child into this world is a very terrifying concept. This world's crazy. And multiple times when I was pregnant, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to bring a kid into this world. Like, it's so scary. But like the Lord would always kind of reassure me that like we have the ability to raise him up to be a world changer and to make the world a better place and to further God's kingdom and whatever. So it's something I'd pray for him when I was pregnant. And it was just so cool that like some random lady in this airport said those specific words, all because he was laughing and saying hi. Like it wasn't even that big of a deal. So it was really special. And then another day, we were, I don't know, we were on the bus on the way back to the resort, I think. And we were right behind the driver. And Ryan was just like playing with Miles, and Miles was laughing like the whole way back. He was probably slap happy. This was probably like going back for nap time or whatever. But he was just giggling, giggling, and giggling. And when we got off the bus, I think I said something like, I'm so sorry if we were like so loud. And she said, do not apologize. Your son has an infectious laugh. And I was like, okay. So it was just cute. I don't know. It was precious.
Yeah.
So I was thankful for those moments.
Yeah.
And seeing Disney World through his eyes.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was fun. It was a really good trip.
Hopefully the next time we go, he has more like emotion. Because I think the funniest part is like, you know, he doesn't fully understand everything. He's taking a lot in.
Oh, yeah. It's
but like,
so overstimulated.
You're staring at him and he's like looking at Mickey and he's deadpan. And I'm like, you're obsessed with Mickey. Like, you know, we're like smiling and like all happy and he's just like deadpan. I'm like, okay. Are you miserable? But by the end of the week, too, he was starting to figure out cheese.
Yeah.
And a lot of our pictures, he looks like he's like wincing in pain, but that's actually him saying cheese. So that's really cute, too. But
well, and he would always like, it would always be after the thing we did that he was like after we left the character, he would be like, bye Mickey, bye Minnie, or like, you know, see Mickey, see
like
Minnie.
He would want to go back. So it's like, okay, you're not miserable.
Well, and then, or like after we get off a ride, he would sign more. And like Dumbo and Jungle Cruise and all that kind of stuff.
But like
did.
on the ride, he looks miserable, and you're like, okay.
He's not emoting. He's not like laughing. He's not smiling. But
I think he's just too young. And
he's just, you know, he's taking it all in as he wants to. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yep. But yeah, it was a good trip.
Yeah.
We won't be going back for a while, though.
Well, we'll see. So I think
we
might
if we hit the lottery, maybe.
Bite marks from the old Disney bug.
Yeah. I think, too, for me, so neither of us like the beach. We do like the mountains. But there's not a whole lot you can do in the mountains with a baby. Yeah, with almost 2-year-old. Yeah. So when you think about like what's a great vacation, we like really Disney World. Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, it was amazing. We didn't have to worry about transportation. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to worry about a car seat. Like we brought a stroller. It was super easy to check that. Yeah. They provide a crib for you at the resort. Like it just was so easy in regards to like having to travel with a little kid.
They're long days. It's tiring for sure. You're walking around.
But
and
any
hot,
vacation's gonna be like that. Long
but
days.
It's so much fun, and it was just it's cool to see him get excited, and it was it's totally doable, and all the parks have baby care centers, which are great. Nice. We only actually used it at Epcot.
Well, that was because I felt like that was the only really conveniently placed. Well,
I think Magic Kingdom is too.
But I don't think we really needed it as much that day. It wasn't as hot that day, too.
Epcot, we were like dying. Yeah. And it was like halfway through the day. But they're just so convenient because they're like little centers they have bathrooms in them.
Water fountains.
They have water fountain, like a changing areas with a bunch of changing
if
tables. If
you're breastfeeding, there's like a room separately for that.
Yeah, they have like a bunch
of room with movies for the little kids.
They have a bunch of like if you run out of like pouches and or baby food or anything like that, like you can get it there. If your kid has a blowout and you need to change of clothes, you can go in there and buy clothes. Buy clothes too. Like they have tons of stuff. It's stocked. It's nice because you can go to a bathroom that's like no one's using, you know, and obviously you have to have a kid, but
at Hollywood Studios it was just kind of inconvenient because a lot of the stuff we wanted to do was on the other side of the park.
Nothing is by where Hollywood Studios' baby care center is. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom, it's like at the end of Main Street, like close to the castle.
Yeah.
Like across from the castle, and so that's like it's right in the center because Magic Kingdom's like a hub, like the castle area is like the center of the hub, and so that's much better located. But Epcot's same way. It's between the World Showcase and the future side of Epcot.
Yeah, which we passed multiple times.
So it's just right there.
But yeah, those definitely came in handy.
So those are super convenient.
They think of everything at Disney World.
Well, and like the worker, like everyone's just so like, you know, they're gonna make your kid feel special. It's not like it's gonna be, you know, I don't know. They're just like, let's get you through the line. You know, they're saying hi. They're doing things like that lady
accents.
One person did Mickey Mouse. Yeah, and he sounded just. It was a Skyliner worker. Yeah,
forgot about that.
For Miles.
He did sound just like him.
So it's cool, and I was wearing my like. You can get pins for like your birthday or other like buttons.
We got them when we went for our honeymoon. They say like congratulations on it.
Yeah. And they have like wedding rings, I think.
Yeah.
Like Mickey and Minnie wedding rings. Anyways, but so I had my birthday button on the whole time. So like all the cast members are saying happy birthday to you and stuff.
We even had some non-cast members. Yeah. Like I think people who
part of me wonders if they're just like
maybe worked there but weren't on.
Like, they're working. Like just visiting for the, you know,
they're
leisure.
People said happy birthday.
And they're like, happy birthday. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so it's like, you know, it's cool. It's fun. And I think that, you know, they're used to kids. Well, so they're good at like, you know, doing like even at the desk, the check-in desk or whatever, like you were doing something.
Oh yeah, Miles.
And Miles was having a bit of a meltdown.
That was the hardest day. Was the first day. Like by the time we got to the resort, I had flown. Like he was hungry. He was tired. All he wanted to do was walk around.
Right.
But it was like 6:30 at that point. So I was like, we need to eat and like go to bed.
Yeah.
And so I picked him up to go to the front desk because I needed to get
before we go back to the room.
I think.
Yeah.
And he was just not having it. He was melting down. And like the guy just got out two like key cards
for the doors, but they have characters.
Mickey and Minnie on it. Yeah. And he like was like, you know, playing with them and gave them to Miles and he was fine. I was like, okay, come home with me. Like, but yeah. So I don't know. This would be like the ideal family vacation for us. I don't think for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, you gotta, there's preparation involved. You have, you know, to be able to get the most out of the trip and know what to expect. So that way you're not like, some of the like people in our lines when it's like I remember somebody made a comment after one of the after the pre-show movie on Mickey and Minnie. The guy behind us was like, another line?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is Disney.
Yes, I do
used
remember.
To it.
Well, and that was the thing too.
It was a quick line though. It's not like you're waiting long.
Like that's the thing. I don't know. I'm like, you're coming to Disney World. What did you expect? And now those are the type of people that are like, oh,
I mean, he didn't go on and on, but it was just like under his breath.
You can really ruin an experience by like just if you're by those people a lot. Actually, one year when the second time we went, we were in line at the Navi River journey. Do you remember those ladies that were behind us? They were awful, and they were so loud, and they were just like, the Disney experience, like, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. This has been the worst experience of my life. And I'm like, okay, you sound like a child, and you're a grown adult, like, because you're waiting. Like, it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you just
things aren't always going to go right.
Be patient. Like,
like, things are going to happen, you know.
Yeah. Oh, and then last night there's a restaurant we really love at the Animal Kingdom Lodge called Sanaa, and it's African cuisine cooked.
African Indian.
Yeah, like cooked fusion. In like Indian style or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's delicious. They're known for their bread service. You get nine different sauces and 5 different types of naan, and I mean, every year we go and we eat the whole thing, and then we also get food, and we're like, why do we get food? Like,
we should have just gotten another
like an appetizer or something.
Too.
Which actually is what I did, but I still was like stuffed.
Well, because that was
so. That was great. Had our meal. You got you got to pick a birthday dessert that they charged us for.
They say up front, because you can say when you make your reservation, like, are you celebrating anything? And I just picked my birthday because that's what we went, you know.
Yeah.
And but they say up front, like we don't comp desserts, so it's not like you're not going to. Well, because they don't want people would mark. Oh, I'm doing this for my birthday every time.
Yeah.
And so I get it.
But so you got to pick your birthday dessert, but then our waitress also brought out another dessert that was like an African like coconut ice cream. I don't know. It was delicious.
It was made with not whole milk, condensed milk.
Yeah.
And
it was really good.
It was good.
Miles enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't eat his dessert, but he liked that.
Yeah.
And he also really liked the tamarind sauce, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
We paid for it later, but that's another story I won't share here. But anyway, so we had this lovely time. We walk out of the lodge. It's pouring down rain.
It's like crazy.
It's a downpour. Yeah. We're like, oh, great. So
thunder, lightning.
Thankfully, there was an Epcot bus there, and we're like, let's just get on Epcot.
Long. Yeah.
But
well, because, mind you, so to get to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, they don't have transportation between the resort hotels.
Right.
So you have to go to a park and then go to the other resort.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit of a process.
We took the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios because that's the fastest thing rather than wait for a bus. And then we took the Animal Kingdom Lodge bus to the Animal Kingdom.
From Hollywood Studios to there.
And so we were planning, the plan was to do the exact same thing in reverse.
Yeah.
However, when it's downpouring, thunder, lightning, wind, the Skyliner's not running anymore. So we just went to the first bus that they had available, which was Epcot.
And of course, like, everyone's leaving the park at that point because it's pouring down rain. So
and we don't have our ponchos or anything because we didn't bring anything.
Yeah. We didn't even have our stroller.
No.
Like, we're carrying Miles through the rain.
Yeah.
And
he was a trooper, though.
Oh, yeah. He was
great. Fine.
However, the people in line were a bit of a piece of work. Like, so we get to the area where we're supposed to go for the bus to Pop Century, which is the resort we stayed at. And for whatever reason, the line, so like, you know,
normally the line would snake back and forth through a certain section.
Yeah, but
it
for
wasn't
whatever
snaking.
reason, it wasn't snaking. There was just like a really long line on the outside of that area.
Mind you, because the buses aren't normally running because of the Skyliner between our hotel and Epcot. So like normally they don't have a bus, so the section isn't really set up like with the ropes properly to feed people through the line.
Yes. So we get there and it's really close to another resort line. So Ryan like kept walking because he was going to where we were supposed to be. But I heard someone say, like, this is the Pop Century line. Yeah. And so I turned around and I said, wait, this is the Pop Century line? Like, they're like, yeah, we don't know why. And so we got in line. And then,
I could see the line goes all the way up to.
It literally went to, like, where you get on the bus. But, like, the people in front of us were just causing a commotion. Like,
I mean, it wasn't much of a commotion. They just kept complaining, like, why is the line stretched all the way back out here? Normally it would snake through.
The girl in front of them was telling them, like, the bus driver told us to not get in that and to do this, but like they just kept questioning her, and I'm like, just leave this girl alone.
And it's not going to make the line any shorter.
No,
it would be the same number of people.
It doesn't matter.
We were still undercover too. Yeah. It's not like we were sticking
out.
There
was like two ladies stormed off, and they're like cussing and all this stuff.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was right when we got there, but it was just like, people.
Yeah,
we're all in the same situation.
Everyone
sucks. Why can't we just like all get along? I mean, why can't we all get along, period? But anyway, so that was like, okay, but that was the only time we really got like poured on, and that was less than ideal. But
because we didn't have our ponchos or anything, but it wasn't, I mean, it was fine, you know. We got on the bus and we got going, so
and then we were home,
and then that was it. We ate breakfast at the resort the next morning, and we got to the airport by like noon.
Came home to a dog with diarrhea.
Yeah.
What a lovely way to cap off the week.
No.
So anyway, we're going to finish off with a quote of the week to end our episode. And Ryan, do you want to take it away?
Yep. So this comes from the Carousel of Progress, one of Walt Disney's own rides.
It was very first, right?
Yeah. It was at the World's Fair.
World's Fair.
And they play a song in it, and I took one of the like chorus, I guess. So here we go.
That was such a weird build up.
I didn't know where I was going. I lost track.
Here you go.
All right, so there's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away.
That's all, folks.
Signing off from Disney.
Oh, I wish we were still at Disney. Basically, what we want to say is if you are planning a trip to Disney anytime soon, give us a call. Give us a little message on the Instagrams. We'd love to help out with a very minimal fee.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm teasing about that. But we love Disney.
Yeah,
clearly.
It was a great trip.
It was a great trip.
So much fun with Miles. And
if you have stuck with us for over an hour and listened to us talk about Disney World, you're the real MVP.
Yep.
And we appreciate you. So we will be back next week for another episode. But I will say it was really nice to have like a small little break.
Yeah.
Go on our little vacation. And now, unfortunately, it's back to the daily grind tomorrow. Yep. Vacation mode is over.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do.
But just remember, there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
And tomorrow's just a dream away.